Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, tonight the town of Portland is grieving the loss of a prominent public servant. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Selectman and Fire Lieutenant Sean Manning was killed crossing the road to attend what was supposed to be a celebratory meeting. Fox 61's Matt Caron talked to those who knew him best.
The black bunting, the flag at half-staff. Another Connecticut town grieves a first responder.
The unfortunate thing about being a volunteer in your own town is that when tragedy strikes, it hits close to home.
And on Wednesday evening, it hit closer to home than ever before. The town was about to convene for their bi-weekly Board of Selectmen meeting on Main Street.
It sounded, a collision of some type, and I heard one of our other selectmen, I just heard someone shout to call 911.
Just outside, a pedestrian hit by a truck. What they didn't know, it was a friend.
He was a public servant in every sense of the word.
Sean Manning was a member of the Portland Board of Selectmen. He was killed trying to cross the street to get to that meeting, a meeting where he was about to be announced as the town's new interim First Selectman beginning in January.
He was so excited to step into this role.
Current First Selectman Ryan Curley, who is stepping down, got to know Sean through political campaigns. Sean ran under the flag of his own party called Back to Basics.
We both decided the best way to achieve our goals was to join forces, focusing on our needs over our wants, focusing on education, infrastructure, and public safety.
Sean wasn't just an elected leader. He was a business owner and general contractor. He was a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a lifetime volunteer Portland firefighter.
Sean was one of my top responders for our daytime calls, and we often ran calls together.
Following the collision and word of Sean's death, Fire Chief Robert Puida put out an all-hands call. Portland's 60 volunteer firefighters gathered in grief at the firehouse as the chief broke the news.
I couldn't go to bed knowing that there might be some members of the department that didn't completely grasp what happened or didn't understand what happened.
Sean Manning was 58 years old. Police are still investigating what led to the crash, but the First Selectman said right now it appears to be a tragic accident. The driver is cooperating with the investigation. As for the leadership of Portland in the new year, that will be decided in the coming days. Reporting in Portland, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, turning to the weather now, a cooler day outside, but people were still out and about in Savin Rock Park in New Haven. They might not be staying outside, or they might not be outside heading into the weekend, staying inside, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a better idea. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now with when these temperatures will start to plummet. Rachel, just seeing your 7-day a while ago made me start to shiver.
Yeah, we've got single-digit numbers on there for parts of the state. We also have snow showers in the forecast. So the bottom line is, after a warmer start to the week with high temperatures in the 60s, winter has returned. And we did want to let you know about some snow showers as we head through the afternoon tomorrow. And those will last off and on into Saturday morning as well. And while we aren't expecting much, a few slippery spots are possible. And we might be able to even coat things up, maybe a scattered coating up to an inch or so of accumulation. Right now, we have nothing on the radar close to home, but these are the snow showers that we are following that'll be diving down heading into tomorrow afternoon. By the news at 11, temperatures are in the lower 30s. We'll see overnight lows between 25 to right around 30 degrees. We're likely dry during the morning. Maybe there's a flurry or two, but I think it's cloudy and dry in the morning for the most part, with temperatures beginning around 30 degrees. But heading into the afternoon, again afternoon, we'll see a better chance for those snow showers developing, and there will be breaks in the action. Again, it's not going to continue Friday afternoon straight through Saturday afternoon, but it'll be off and on through that stretch. And notice what happens to the temperature as we go from 35 to 30 to highs in the 20s and overnight lows in the teens and single digits, and wind chills that will likely be below zero as we head into Sunday morning. And if you can believe it, it gets even colder as we head into Monday morning. We'll take a closer look at that, the possibility for some festive flakes again as we head into Christmas Eve. And we'll take a look at your Christmas Day forecast too. That's all in the 7-day coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. We have an update now on a West Hartford shooting we first told you about last night. Police have made a second arrest after a man was shot on Hillcrest Avenue just before 3 yesterday. Richard Aponte was arrested on scene. Deshaun Jones was charged today as the investigation continued, both being held on $750,000 bond. A Fox 61 follow-up, a deadly officer-involved shooting in West Hartford has been ruled justified, according to the Office of Inspector General. In August of 2023, Mike Alexander Garcia ran from a stolen car he was driving toward a Town Fair tire. That's where he got into a car that was being worked on. Officer Andrew Teeter tried to stop him and was inside the car as Garcia tried to drive away. Teeter then fired his weapon multiple times, and Garcia died from his injuries. Now, the attorneys for Garcia's family released a statement today in response to the report, and they say in a statement, "We are deeply disappointed by the Office of Inspector General's report and findings. Our community deserves better. Mike and his family deserve better. We will continue to seek justice and accountability on behalf of Mike and his family by all means possible." And the clock is ticking tonight as lawmakers on Capitol Hill once again attempt to avoid a government shutdown.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolforce checked in with Connecticut's federal lawmakers. She joins us now in studio with more. What a shutdown could mean for the state, Emma.
Sarah, Brent, with less than 2 days to go now before a partial government shutdown, lawmakers are back to the drawing board again after Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, President-elect Trump's government efficiency watchdogs, tanked a negotiated budget bill last night in favor of shutting the government down until after Inauguration Day. The bipartisan spending package introduced by Speaker Mike Johnson would have included a $100 billion disaster aid clause. $3 billion of that would have come here to Connecticut to help cover the cost of last August's flooding in the Naugatuck Valley and the brush fires in October. There was also $10 billion earmarked for weather resilience projects for farmers, as well as extra spending on submarines. The proposal set aside nearly $6 billion for Virginia-class sub-construction. A chunk of that would have come to Groton. That's all been scrapped now, but Connecticut's representatives in the House say with just hours left until the Friday midnight deadline, they'll keep fighting, saying a government shutdown will have a, quote, very real effect on people.
You know, if you're going to shut down the government at the very moment in time, you're going to tell a young Marine that he doesn't get cash in his pockets to buy gifts for his kids. Sorry, you don't respect our military as far as I'm concerned. This is not a partisan fight. This is not Republicans not agreeing with Democrats. This is Republicans torturing their own people. This is Republican on Republican violence before Donald Trump even takes office, right? And so I do fear that this is foreshadowing the chaos, because this could get very chaotic very quickly if the government does in fact shut down.
Now, if Congress can't reach an agreement before tomorrow at midnight, essential services like the military and TSA agents at airports will still continue working through the holiday, but they will do so without any pay. About an hour ago, Republicans did introduce a new plan, but House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is calling it, quote, laughable. House Democrats seemed very opposed, and now there's word support is waning for that new plan among GOP members in the House, too. Any spending package would need bipartisan support to pass, as Dems still have a slim majority in the Senate. So we'll keep an eye as all this plays out. Sarah, Brent.
All right. Thank you, Emma. Well, the chancellor of Connecticut's college and university system has vowed to do better. Just this week, a state report pointed to his own overspending, auditing systematic financial problems. The CSCU Board of Regents met this morning for the first time since State Comptroller Sean Scanlon released his findings. His office found Chancellor Terrence Chang's administration overall spent excessively, misused funds, and lacked financial oversight. Today, the chancellor apologized, but stopped short of resigning.
It is clear that my judgment in several instances was lacking, and I'm going to do better. I have learned from these mistakes. I will not make these mistakes again, and I pledge to do better personally and to help the system continue to get better in any way that we can.
The board's now committed to a financial accountability task force, which will frequently meet with outside auditors. But there's still a large gap in CSCU's budget, made worse by the end of pandemic-era federal funds. Big news for students. They did vote today to freeze tuition for 2 years, but will have to make up the money in other ways, like continuing to look at program and class cuts and ask the state for more funding, which, according to lawmakers, isn't likely.
And we have an update tonight on Connecticut's paid leave program. Leaders say by the end of the year, the program will pay $1 billion in benefits to workers in our state. The top 5 towns with the highest total number of filed claims since program inception are Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven, Bridgeport, and New Britain. The state says 80% of benefit requests get approved.
Gives people the opportunity to stay and take care of a new child, to take care of their health or a loved one who is sick without giving up critical employment in our state.
For more information on how you can apply, head to our website, fox61.com.
State police are again stepping up their traffic enforcement for the holiday week. You'll notice more officers out on the roads. You know, they're there to keep everyone safe. Last year during the holidays, there were 259 crashes on state roads. 4 people were killed. State police are reminding everyone to drive the speed limit, signal when turning or changing lanes, and refrain from texting or using your phone while behind the wheel. Tomorrow, people in Middletown can expect to hear cannon fires during a private internment ceremony for the late Governor Jody Rell. Rell is being laid to rest next to her husband at the Connecticut State Veterans Cemetery. Her husband was a veteran. During the private ceremony, the Connecticut National Guard will fire 19 rounds of cannon blanks during a ceremonial salute. It'll be from 1 until about 2 p.m. Governor Rell passed away last month in Florida. Her funeral was December 3rd. She took the reins after former Governor John Rowland abruptly resigned in 2004 amid a corruption investigation.